Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Podlume. I'm Liana, and I'm truly, deeply happy that you chose to sit down and spend this time with me today. Let's start today's talk with the situation that I know you have felt before. Imagine you are standing in a group of people. Someone asks you a question in English. You know the answer. In your mind, the words are perfectly ready. But just as you open your mouth to speak, a sudden wave of panic hits you. Your chest feels tight, your throat feels dry, and you choose to stay silent instead. You smile, shake your head, and say nothing. Why do we do this? We do it because of one giant monster that lives in the minds of almost all language learners: the fear of making mistakes. We are terrified that people will laugh at us. We are scared that we will use the wrong tense, pronounce a word incorrectly, or look foolish. This fear acts like a heavy padlock on our mouth. In this long conversation today, we are going to break that lock. We will discuss why your brain is trying to protect you from mistakes, why mistakes are actually a beautiful thing, and how you can finally start speaking English fearlessly. This is a slow, peaceful talk, so take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's explore this together. To defeat this fear, we must first understand where it comes from. It is not because your English is bad, it is actually because your brain is trying to protect you. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in small tribes. If you did something embarrassing or wrong, the tribe might reject you. In the ancient world, being rejected by your group meant you had to survive alone, which was incredibly dangerous. So, your brain developed a survival mechanism. Avoid looking foolish at all costs. Today, when you are trying to speak English in front of your friends, your classmates, or your colleagues, your ancient brain thinks that making a grammar mistake is a life or death situation. It treats a wrong verb tense the same way it would treat a dangerous animal. It triggers the fight or flight response. But let's look at reality. If you say he go to school instead of he goes to school, does anyone get hurt? Does the world stop spinning? No. The person listening to you still understands exactly what you mean. The danger is completely an illusion created by your mind. You are not in danger. You are just learning. Let me tell you a real life story that completely changed how I look at mistakes. A few years ago, I traveled on a long flight. The flight attendant was a wonderful, cheerful woman who was originally from a different country. Her native language was not English. During the flight, she came to my seat to offer me a drink. She wanted to ask if I wanted ice in my water. But instead of saying, "Would you like some ice cubes?" she smiled warmly and said, "Would you like some water blocks?" Think about that for a second. Water blocks. It was technically a massive vocabulary mistake. Water blocks is not a real phrase in English. But do you know what happened? I didn't laugh at her. I didn't think she was unintelligent. In fact, I thought it was incredibly creative and poetic. I knew exactly what she meant. I smiled, said yes, and we had a lovely conversation. That moment taught me a huge lesson. Communication is about connection, not perfection. The goal of speaking a language is to pass an idea from your brain into someone else's brain. If the idea gets there safely, even if it arrives carried by water blocks, you have successfully communicated. People do not care about your perfect grammar, they care about your message and your energy. Now, let's talk about easy practical solutions to help you speak fearlessly. The first solution is to change how you define a mistake in your own head. In schools, we are punished for mistakes. Red ink is drawn all over our exam papers. We are taught that a mistake means minus points or failure. But in the real world of language learning, a mistake is not a failure. A mistake is data, it is proof of progress. Think of a small child learning to walk. When the child falls down for the 50th time, does the mother look at the child and say, "Well, look at that failure. Walking is just not for them"? Of course not. Every time the child falls, their brain collects data on how to balance better next time. Falling is a mandatory part of learning to walk. Making mistakes is a mandatory part of learning to speak English. If you aren't making mistakes, it means you are only saying things that are already easy for you. It means you aren't growing. The next time you make a mistake, don't apologize. Instead, smile in your mind and think, excellent, my brain just collected some new data. The second solution is a fun, real life experiment that will cure your fear completely. I call it the public mistake experiment. The next time you're speaking English with someone, maybe a waiter, a store clerk, or a classmate, I want you to make a small mistake on purpose. Say something slightly wrong intentionally. For example, look at a clock and say, the time of 5 o'clock instead of the time is. Watch the other person's reaction carefully. Do they gasp in shock? Do they call the grammar police? Do they point their finger and laugh? No. 100% of the time, they will just answer your question normally. When you make a mistake on purpose and see that absolutely nothing bad happens, your brain realizes that its ancient fear was a lie. You teach your subconscious mind that you can survive a mistake completely unharmed. It takes away the boogeyman under the bed. Once you realize that a mistake cannot hurt you, the fear vanishes and you begin to speak freely. The final solution is to change what you praise yourself for. Most language learners only celebrate when they have a perfect conversation. If they speak for 10 minutes but make 2 mistakes, they go home and focus only on those 2 errors, ignoring the 10 minutes of successful talking. Stop doing that to yourself. Be kind to your mind. Start celebrating your courage, not your perfection. If you went to a shop and asked for a coffee in English, celebrate the fact that you opened your mouth and used your voice. It doesn't matter if your pronunciation wasn't flawless. You did it. You were brave. Fluency does not mean speaking perfectly. Fluency means speaking with flow. And flow only comes when you stop pulling the emergency brake of your mind every time you fear an error. Let the language flow out of you. Trust your brain. It knows more than you think it does. Thank you so much for staying with me through this long, calm talk today. I truly hope these 20 minutes have given your mind some peace, lifted the weight off your shoulders, and given your English listening skills a wonderful workout. Before we say goodbye for today, it is time for the Liana challenge. I want you to be completely fearless right now. In the comments below, write about a funny or embarrassing mistake you once made while learning English. Or just write, I am ready to speak fearlessly. Let's create a safe space in the comments where mistakes are celebrated, not judged. I will be reading every single comment and replying to you. If you love these long, peaceful English listening sessions on Podlume, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps me know that this content is valuable to you. I'm Liana and this is Podlume. Be kind to your mind, stay brave, and I will see you in our next episode. Goodbye for now.